What's up, Humblers? It's HumbleZeus here, bringing you another Destiny beta gameplay, and today we're in the Crucible, the PvP arena of Destiny, and I told you guys I'd get you a gameplay of this. I know that a lot of people were like, how come we don't have a gameplay of this? And I'm like, you know, I'm sorry, I'll get that immediately fixed for you guys. So that's kind of what I've done here. Obviously, I've gotten you a pretty decent gameplay. Not my best. I had one really good game as a practice, and I was like, maybe I can get another one. This gameplay isn't near as good, but I have some really nice moments in it, so it's a pretty decent gameplay in my opinion. And obviously now I've reviewed the PvE part of the beta. I reviewed my opinions on the characters. I've gone over other people's opinions and looked at them, and now I'm gonna kind of give my own opinions on the PvP aspect of Destiny's gameplay. And how maybe, I don't know if it'll change, obviously this is a beta, it could change in the final version, and I definitely think we'll see some of the changes we've asked for in it. But, you know, I can at least review what we have now before we lose it until September. And I gotta say that PvP is actually pretty fun. Now, I'm personally more interested in the PvE and exploring the world and the story. And if I do cover Destiny on my channel, which I probably will, you'll definitely be seeing more of the storyline from me than any actual PvP. I might change that, I might switch it up depending on, you know, I'll look at the final version and see how much I enjoy it, and if it's really something that I think I'll enjoy, I might throw it in as well. But, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm buying Destiny more for the story aspect and the exploring and, you know, all that kind of stuff, rather than the PvP. But the PvP is actually pretty good. I see it as, it's pretty balanced in my opinion. There are some minor tweaks, but I think the game is actually fairly balanced. The classes each seem to work very well. The map seems suited for every class. Not one class really has an advantage in every map. There are some maps where I feel certain characters have an advantage. In this map, I feel close quarter characters have a very good advantage because there's lots of places to hide. There's lots of cover, you can jump between them. The Hunter, especially with his, you know, extra agility, he can get between those high places, get around people, you know, flank around it, and, you know, make the best of this area. But there are other places I feel Titan is best, because he's very tanky. He can kind of use this to his advantage as well. Going from cover to cover, soaking up bullets, and then eventually getting up in people's faces and, you know, shocking them in the jaw. That's something that kind of works on these maps. Warlock has a very good way with his grenades. His grenades can do a lot of damage in these confined spaces. So each character has something they can use and like advantageous to them in these maps, and I feel the maps are very well designed. In terms of weaponry, I feel like there are only two, like there are a couple of weapons that really dominate the battlefield. You will see people like using various weapons, like various assault rifles, be it pulse rifles, scout rifles, full auto rifles. And those are all well and good depending on your preference and playstyle and what you're good with. You can use any of those weapons to fairly, you know, similar effect. I feel like the auto rifle does hold some place, or at least the scout rifle can be very good. The pulse rifle, I'm kind of on the fence on. I've used it. I don't think it's bad, but maybe it's just my playstyle doesn't suit the pulse rifle, so I'm not gonna, you know, kind of bash it because I'm not good with it. I think it can be a viable weapon for those like maybe medium to long range engagements because of the recoil. In my opinion, isn't too bad. You can try to get the headshots with them, but I don't know how well that'll go for you. But the main weapons I feel like that dominate, obviously you can see me using them, are shotties. I try to use the shotty in this map simply because it works very well in this very kind of close quarter map. And most enemies, if you can get point blank shots, you're going to kill them in one shot. Obviously you see me miss, but you know, obviously I'm just not very used to the PvP. I only went in for the Iron Banner events to see if I could get myself a legendary, and I derp here, but I do think they're very balanced. The hand cannons, obviously, no one I see really uses them simply because they're not viable. I think they shoot too slow, and the damage they do compared to how long it takes to shoot a bullet is just not worth, you know, using. So most people don't use them, which is why I would like a secondary implement, like, you know, being able to like hold a full auto rifle as your primary and then a hand cannon as a secondary, because it shoots so slowly. It would definitely make the game better. Obviously, you can see there are lots of other weapons alongside the shotties. Snipers are also very strong, but you do need to get a headshot, so that is fair. Fusion rifles, I think they're very good. I like using them, but I prefer the shotgun simply because I do end up in close range engagements a lot. I do like to melee a lot, so I do try to keep within close quarters. Obviously, though, if you've seen my assault rifle, it does have like a long-range scope, so I can kind of hit those long-range targets, and I always gotta say, aim for the head if you're gonna do this. Aiming for the head is probably the easiest way to get a kill, and it ensures that you'll get a kill first because not all classes obviously are bullet sponges like the Titan. They can't keep taking the amount of punishment the Titan can. And so when you're up against a Titan, you want to aim for the head, or any class basically, and try to incapacitate them before they can throw a grenade at you. Because simply throwing a grenade can change the way the battle works, because some grenades don't let you within a certain area, like the Warlock's grenades. You can't get within a certain area of that grenade before it starts sapping your health, basically about to kill you. And so you can force people into certain areas where you are better in engagement. So killing your enemy fast is the best way to not get murdered instantly, but you can obviously use other things. Your supers have very different roles compared to which one you have. You know, the Warlocks gets a beach volleyball that of like instant death. That's what he has. He can just throw and spike a volleyball of hell onto you, which is very good for taking out maybe large groups of enemies from a distance, where you don't have to worry about, you know, getting up close as opposed to Titan, who needs to kind of rush up and do it. And then you kind of have the middle ground with the Hunter, who can, you know, either shoot from mid-range, and you have to be kind of accurate with this. Shoot from mid-range and try to get a kill, or you can try from close range. You know, you're gonna have a bit more. You could get a lucky shot off, but you're more likely needing to aim. Hipfire isn't as effective, I think, with the golden gun, even though lots of people do feel it's overpowered. I think it's fairly balanced. I wouldn't recommend trying to use it at long range though. I mean, you probably could if like your target wasn't moving that much, or you're very good at leading targets, but I think the little golden gun should stay between mid-range and, you know, kind of short range. As for the other things in the game, the maps, like I said, they feel fairly good. They all feel kind of balanced. Some people don't like the moon map, which I don't know the name of, but or if it is just moon, I don't know. I can see why people don't like it. It's not very, how should you say? It's not very fun for people who are not in vehicles, in my mind. I mean, yes, you can take out the vehicles very easy, so you balance that out. I don't really have an issue with vehicles because I can generally get away from them. Obviously, other times I'm not going to get away from them and I'm going to get completely stomped by them, but, you know, give and take, give and take. They're very easy to destroy with supers, or if, you know, you and a couple teammates aim fire at it, you know, you'll probably destroy it. You can also shoot off the pilots of the vehicles, so it's not very hard. Simply aim if you have a sniper on your team and just tell them, hey, you know, point there. The thing I don't like is that the way chat works in this is it like, you need to be in a fire team in order to actually talk with your, you know, people. So if you're not all in a fire team, which you're probably not if you're just playing by yourself, you can't hear anybody, so you can't hear they're flanking. You just kind of have to use your radar and depend kind of on yourself in terms of figuring out where your enemies are, which isn't the best. I think there are lots of things they could have done to improve that aspect of it. But overall, I think that the PvP is very good. I think that it has a lot of potential. I don't think it'll be competitive, and if you want to know my reasons why, I looked at it and I just said, you know what, this game, it's at 30 FPS, it's, you know, it's not 60, and I know competitive players, like mostly, I think all of them play at 60. You know, they're gonna notice that, they refuse to like play on anything lower. There are some people who are like very picky about it. There's a whole bunch of reasons. And simply for the fact that you can spend a lot of time on one enemy. Competitive, as far as I can see, it's not going to be in this game. It's really not. But maybe it could. I could be wrong. You can leave your own opinions on that in the comments. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, telling me how much you either enjoy the beta or dislike the beta if you're in it. If you're not, what console you're going to be playing on, what class. You know, I'd like to hear this kind of stuff from you. And so, you know, I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, share the video, you know, follow me on Twitter if you want to know when all the videos are coming out, whatnot. And I'll see you guys later. Zeus out.